It's the best time of the week, time to make some moolah. Welcome into Beat the Bookie. I'm your host, Jaron May. Before we get to my expert picks, let's take a look at how we've been doing on BTB this year. Not too shabby for our hosts, an overall record of above 500, and we're in the net positive through the first 7 weeks. Tom Russo didn't have the best time of the show, but Willie Betts has lived up to his name. I'm here to dethrone Will and make us all some money, so let's get right into it. Let's start off with the games of the week, and the pack is back. That's where we begin. The Pac-12 is resuming play today with number 12 Oregon hosting Stanford. Call me a baby, but there is no way I'm picking a spread of 9 points or the over-under in the very first game of the season. Neither of these teams have proven themselves, so instead of risking it, I'm going to put $10 on Oregon's money line. Now, do I think the Ducks win by over 9? Sure. They have the best coach in the conference in Mario Cristobal, are returning the majority of their defense, plus all 3 of their 1,000-yard rushers are back. Oregon will probably run away with this one, but for the first game of the season, let's play it smart. The second game of the week has some major SEC East implications. It's number 8 Florida taking on number 5 Georgia. Vegas is favoring the Dogs by 3, which is completely disrespectful. Let's put $10 on Georgia minus 3. My dad always taught me, defense wins championships, and Georgia has a top 15 defense in the country right now. Florida is heavily reliant on their tight end Kyle Pitts, which makes sense, but the Bulldogs haven't given up a touchdown to a tight end this year. They'll be keying in on Pitts, Florida will continue to be undisciplined, and Georgia will add a statement win by at least 7 points to its resume. Our final game of the week is the biggest of them all. It's number 1 Clemson versus number 4 Notre Dame. The Tigers are without QB1 Trevor Lawrence, which scares me a little bit, but DJ Uiagalelei is a very serviceable backup. I'd even say he's as good, if not better, than Ian Book. It'll be a close game, so a 6-point spread isn't too inviting, so let's put $10 on the over at 50.5 points. Clemson is averaging 46. Notre Dame is putting up 35 per game. There will certainly be more defense played today, but both teams will score in the high 20s, leading us to the over. All right, $30 down, $70 to go, and now it's time for my picks of the week. We'll start with number 23 Michigan and number 13 Indiana. The Wolverines are coming off a home loss to a bad Michigan State team and are now favored by 4 points on the road to a top 15 Hoosiers team. Not completely sure what Vegas sees here, so give me $15 on Indiana at +4. The Hoosiers have covered in both of their games this year, plus Michigan is not good at stopping the pass, while Michael Penix loves to air it out. Indiana is not only going to cover, it will win this game, but don't bet the money line just in case I'm wrong. Let's play it safe. Next, let's go out west for Arizona State taking on number 20 USC. I know I just told you not to bet the spread in a Pac-12 game. This one's different. The odds makers have USC favored by 11 points. That's not happening. We're putting $10 on ASU to cover at +11. As much as I love USC this year and think Kadon Clovis will be the conference player of the year, ASU is just as solid and has a player of the year candidate in Jaden Daniels. Pair him with Herm Edwards and the Sun Devils will put up a fight. Ultimately, the Trojans will win, but not by 11. My lock of the week is an easy one and one that everyone needs to put their money on ASAP. I'm not joking when I say this. Texas is playing West Virginia, and the over-under is set at only 54.5 points. It's the Big 12 for crying out loud. Texas is in the top 10 of the FBS in points per game with 44 and has hit the over in 5 of its 6 games. West Virginia is averaging 33 points this year and has hit the over in 2/3 of its games. These teams are combining for at least 60 points, so I'm putting $20 on the over. My dog of the week wouldn't be evident if you looked at the rankings. For some reason, number 25 Liberty is a 17-point underdog to Virginia Tech today. The Flames are a perfect 6-0 and have covered in 4 of their games this season. Virginia Tech's rush defense ranks in the bottom third of the FBS, while the Flames are number 7 in the entire country in rushing yards per game. Liberty's combination of Malik Willis, Josh Mack, Shedro Lewis, and Peyton Pickett is going to have its way away on the ground. In the very least, the Flames will cover as 17-point dogs, so I'm putting $15 on them. Now it's time for my parlay of the week. Let's start off with the over of 52.5 in the Houston versus Cincinnati game. The Bearcats have scored over 40 points in their last 2 games, while the Cougars haven't been below 20 points all season. Plus, the Houston defense is in the bottom half of the country, so Cincinnati is going to have a field day. Give me the over there. The next leg in my parlay is taking Boston College as 14.5-point favorites against Syracuse. BC has covered in 5 of its games this year, while SU only has 1 win and doesn't know who its starting quarterback should be. I sense a blowout in the Dome today, not in favor of the Orange. Next, give me the under at 44.5 points for Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. The Commodores are averaging just a measly 12 points per game, and the Bulldogs haven't scored more than 14 in a game since opening weekend. Neither team is even sniffing the 20s today. For the final leg of the parlay, let's take Florida Atlantic as 6.5-point favorites against Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers are 1-6 against the spread this season, while FAU is coming off a dominant win against UTSA. Now, most Beat the Bookie hosts are too afraid to put more than $5 on their parlay, and to that I say get some guts. I'm throwing $10 on this parlay for a potential payout of more than $120. Before I go, let's take a quick look at my rap sheet. First, taking the Oregon money line, putting a quick $10 on Georgia's spread, then taking the over in the Clemson-Notre Dame game, putting a cool $15 down for Indiana to cover against Michigan. After that, taking Arizona to put up a fight versus USC. My lock of the week are the Flames of Liberty, and of course, the beautiful 4-leg parlay that is going to net us a sweet, sweet Benjamin Plus. All right, well, that'll do it for this edition of Beat the Bookie. Put your money where your mouth is this weekend and go make that moolah. I'm Jaron May. Thanks for tuning in.